if you got housing, you really can face the world like Superman or Superwoman. and that is the thing. If you don't have housing or worrying about where you're going to stay at night, yeah, man, you're so stressed out, you don't know what to do.
In our community, the affordable housing crisis is a crisis that affects everybody. We're moving in a scary direction with housing. There's simply not enough of it for the people who already live here. We have new neighbors that are coming in. We have a lot of other challenges in our community that make it hard for people to make enough money to afford housing at the rates that they are.
I spent years looking for a place that I could afford.
I had to wait 3 years before I could find an affordable home, and the only last place I had was this spot here.
One of my biggest setbacks was my criminal history. No apartments would accept my criminal history.
Recent studies have found that there are about 1,400 people in New Hanover County that were considered homeless, but that doesn't count people who are doubled up or people who barely can make ends meet. Out of that amount, there were 86% that were considered first-time homeless. So with those high numbers, we know that there is a crisis that we might not even see every day from people that are on the street living, but behind closed doors, people are suffering from not being able to have safe, affordable housing.
37% of people in New Hanover County are renters. Out of those 37%, half are cost burdened.
The average rent in Wilmington is about $1,500, and in order for people to afford that, they would have to make at least $60,000 a year.
Since the housing cost is so high, people find themselves paying more than 30% of their income, which doesn't leave room to take care of other things like groceries, transportation.
People are working but can't afford a place to live, and that in itself is a crisis.
There's definitely a stigma attached to the words affordable housing. A lot of people talk about or think that they don't want affordable housing in their backyard.
There's a lot of fear associated with the language of affordable housing, but really, affordable housing just means housing that humans can afford.
There's single moms, there's elderly, there's people who are just starting out their career that cannot afford housing in our area. And so we want to be part of getting to the root cause to create housing so that more people can thrive and be successful.
This really common issue now, not just in our community, but it's known as NIMBY, not in my backyard. It's this idea that I want more housing, but I don't want it to happen in my neighborhood. I want people who are low income to have a place to go, but I don't want it to be in my backyard. Yes, in God's backyard is this idea that everything belongs to God. This whole city is God's. This whole region and community belongs to the Lord. And so when we look at it that way, when we look at it as something that's a resource for all of us, and that there's enough, and that we can consider what it looks like to love our neighbor with our property, with our city, with our church properties, this is an enthusiastic yes in God's backyard.
When the disciples went to see Christ in the tomb and he wasn't there, they were very discouraged because they thought somebody had stolen his body. And it says something very specific that I noticed this Resurrection Sunday. It said that every disciple went back to their own home. And I thought, wow, every disciple had a home. Why can't every person on earth have a home?
What role do churches have in the affordable housing crisis? So I think there's kind of two pieces to it. You have churches as an institution. The last study I read, I think that churches own like 520 properties in our city. And a lot of those properties maybe aren't utilized to their fullest potential. So literally in a city where we're running out of land, churches who are built and designed to love God and love people have the opportunity to participate by going, do we have extra property? Can we reimagine the use of a building that's not used anymore? Or is there a way that we can share in a way that increases access to housing? And then there's also the body of Christ, the people of God. And again, like if our greatest mandate is to love God and love people, well, if I have extra room in my backyard and I have the resources, maybe I can build a little apartment in my backyard, or maybe I can contribute to Habitat or Good Shepherd or someone who's developing affordable housing in our community.
We have wonderful organizations like Habitat for Humanity that is here. There is something called a neighborhood build that is going on, and also Warm, who actually does great work at going in and making homes safe, especially for those who are elderly.
Eden Village, we are a tiny home community with 31 homes. It's a very affordable. They pay $300 and we supplement the rest. And it's a place where they come in off the street or living in their car in Wilmington for over a year. And so we give them a home, we let them start healing, we bring them into a community.
I was at the Baptist church downtown and I talked to, I think her name was Julie. She recommended Eden Village and she got me an application.
Miss Evans, she filled out an application form for me.
It's real hard for me to do it on my own. You really need someone to help you.
In Eden's Village, I started getting my life back together and started to find me and change a little bit and get my strength back. Once I found my strength back, I started getting more confidence in me.
I was actually not sleeping in my car for the first time in 2 years.
This is a faith-based group. We have just 2 full-time employees, but we have thousands of volunteers. And so the Wilmington community at large is welcome to come on and share your talents.
Backyard Housing was designed by Roger Gins. It's a not-for-profit. We basically can help people figure out if there's a way that they can put an accessory dwelling unit, which is a detailed term for basically a tiny home. Even in your home, an extra room, your kid went off to school, or you just have all this extra bonus space. All these different ways that you can convert space, it's gonna not only increase the value of your home, but you're doing something that's so desperately needed in our community.
Nobody wants to be reminded of their worst mistake. So when you start caring about people coming out of prison, or when people come out of prison, we find that, I guess we call it the housing first model. We have purchased several houses. We also rent several apartments. We also have a transitional campus because people coming out of prison, I think, need a transition before some permanency. So we've just had to do it all. And we can consistently look for more and more opportunities to buy property so that we can ensure that people got a decent place to stay.
Wesley Community Development has worked with lots of different churches over the years since 2002. Many of them have a mission, so we work with the churches to see where's their heart. If their heart is for housing, we'll help them build what is needed in their community and what meets their vision for the future of their church. Many times we'll lease the land from them and build housing tax credit properties for the community, so it solves a big need in the community, but they get to hold on to their land.
We have partnered with a wonderful organization in the city called Aging in Place /City Place, along with Wesley Community Development Corporation. And we are creating affordable housing for the elderly population in the city, and for the first time ever, housing for the differently abled or disabled adults. And so it's a wonderful opportunity. And so we joined this friendship and partnership over the next 50 years, and it will serve as one of the first models of its kind in this area.
The housing affordability crisis was not created by one single thing and can't be solved by one entity or one government or even one sector. We are all responsible for moving forward and helping make housing more affordable.
Anybody can get involved. Hey, listen, we're just a doctor and a nurse. We're not homelessness experts. We just got involved and got our friends together, and look what's happened.
There's always a place to jump in the continuum of providing that level of support. And that's what we need, is more everyday people to say, hey, let me get involved.
Wilmington is an incredible place to live. We have made it our home here for 28 years. but having affordable housing is a critical thing to making our community a place where we all can thrive.
Every piece of the puzzle matters. So whether you're just sharing something on social media or giving your time to do a habitat build, every piece is important in this issue. And if people want to know how they can be a part and they don't really know where they fit in, they can reach out to us at onechristiannetwork.com. We can help connect you.